Hello Ark fans, I'm Super Red Star, and today we're going to be dropping into Ark Survival of the Fittest 100 times. SOTIF is a battle royale based on the game Ark Survival Evolved. Unfortunately you can't play the game right now as all official Ark servers have been shut down for the remake Ark Survival Ascended. So join me in remembering the game as I drop Ark Survival of the Fittest 100 times. When the game starts you jump out of the Quetzal and glide to where you want to go. But when the game came out on PlayStation there was this glitch where you would just plummet down to the ground. There was no danger when I landed, so I decided to go to a nearby blue drop. Then I got attacked by another player and eaten by an aloe. When you're dropping in, I would suggest you land near a green drop as they always start on the ground. Unfortunately, someone else got to it first and stabbed me in the back. Game 3, I got glitched inside of a raptor and died. Game 4, I actually managed to open a drop and I managed to tame a terrorbird. Once you have a tame, it's generally easier to get more, just like how I managed to get my second terrorbird as I was riding my first. After I got my second bird, I got attacked. Fumbled with my controller, which led to my demise. Game 5, I was going for this green drop on the mountain, but somebody else got there first. I saw this guy trying to open a green drop, so I decided to try and kill him. Unfortunately, he managed to get away. I then tamed a scorpion, but that didn't last long as I quickly got attacked by sabers. Stay back, no, why the suckers here, no! Game 6, I got a bow of a blue drop which I used to tame this raptor. I recommend that you kill every diplo that you see. This is because it doesn't fight back and it awards you a lot of dino points and XP which can be really helpful to winning the game. In this game I used those dino points to try and tame a fairy. Unfortunately whilst trying to knock it out, my raptor got killed. But I did manage to get the fairy. Even if your creature has been defeated in battle, if it doesn't get fully killed, you're able to go back and retame it, which is how I managed to get my raptor back. I then got into a fight with a guy with 2 spinos. This fight caused the death of all creatures that were involved, but in the end, I did not come out on top. You'll notice in a lot of these games I start off with a terrorbird or a raptor as it gives me extra protection when I'm going for the larger stuff. Like in this game I tamed a terrorbird which allowed me to tame a dire bear a lot more easily. Although it did cost the bird's life, but like in game 6 I was able to get it back. Using the might of my bear I was able to tame a little army including a baryonyx. But this was never going to be enough as none of these creatures are particularly powerful, so when I saw a spino, I knew I had to try and tame it. With the combined strength of all of my creatures, it was pretty easy to knock out. And when I got a taste for this power, all I wanted was more. Much more. And whenever I saw a spino, I knew I had to make it mine. Every spino got me closer to victory. Until they all died in an explosion, no! I really tried to avenge them. But I just didn't. In the lobby of Game 8, I made my incredible flag. I called it the Raptor. In the actual game, I landed, tamed a raptor, used it to tame a Barry, but got killed by someone spino. You can probably tell that I'm taming a raptor or terrorbird pretty early every time, and Game 9's no different. I tamed a raptor, so if you don't mind, I'm going to skip over the beginning of most rounds now. Because I didn't really encounter many people, I managed to amass a little army, mostly made out of medium-sized creatures with a few raptors in between. The main one you really need to care about are the few baryonyxes that I tamed, as they were the only ones that really did something. But when somebody came after me with a max tier Barry, I was practically helpless. You could see them just tear through my army. There was nothing I could do. What's this? I can possess this random Barry that I have? In SOTIF, there's this mechanic in the game where if your character is dead but you still have creatures alive, they let you possess them until all of your creatures are dead. I took the Barry as far as I could, but that tier 3 Barry from earlier found me and I was unable to get away. Oh look, it's one of the games from the trailer! So you already know I get this Carno, and a Spino. But the part with no hood, that was an accident. I ended up turning it off soon after I tamed the Spino. And I never figured out how to turn it back on, so I was stuck with not knowing what my health was the entire time. But you don't need a hood to know that my Spino's health got deleted by this Giga. Don't worry though, I managed to get away. I ended up in the storm as I had a long way to run and I was only on foot. Fortunately in this game your armor takes damage before your health does, and I had the strongest armor you could get in this game. When I got into the circle, the first thing I did was tame a already downed raptor, which didn't help too much against a Giga because they killed it in one bite and then immediately killed me. Hey, I got 4th place, not too bad. Especially when you consider that 2 people were teaming and they both had Gigas, which for those who don't know is the apex predator in this game.
Game 11, I decided to land in the snow biome. Don't come here, it's infested with direwolves. In Game 12, I managed to tame 2 Spinos relatively early, and this guy decides to shoot at me, which causes my Spinos to start chasing after him, which leads to an easy kill. When you have your creature of choice, in this case it's a Spino, try to kill as many things as you can on it, preferably Diplos because they give a lot of XP. And it will avoid accidents like what happened back in Game 7 where all of them got killed in one rocket, because they'll have more damage and a lot more health. In this game I'm still making the mistake of taming a lot of Spinos, but at least I'm focusing on leveling up my main Spino a little bit more. I end up finding a Titanosaur, which is the strongest creature in the game that isn't one of Ark's Guardians, so it was a pretty powerful addition to my collection. I mean, look at this guy, he's just annihilating these wild dinos. You don't just have to be investing dino points into tames, you can put them into things like XP to level up your dinosaurs, which is what I did with my Titanosaur. Another way you can use them is to heal your dinosaurs, like I had to do with my Titanosaur after I leveled up. Whilst I was busy doing all of that, somebody came in from behind and killed all of my tames but my Titan, but there was still hope I could win the game. In every game there will always be these dino crates dropping from the sky that don't actually drop dinos, they drop a bunch of creatures from other maps from Ark Survival Evolved. Now you cannot find these normally and they're all pretty powerful, and in this game I managed to tame a Reaper King. Here I'm going to give why I don't really like going for Titanosaurs, and that is because they are extremely slow, meaning anyone, even on a Spino, can just run away and shoot fire arrows at you, which will slowly drain your health, so you'll either run out of dino points or they'll kill you fast enough that, well, you can't out-heal it. Something that can happen is that when the circle is a little bit smaller, you might not be able to get back into the circle because of the Titanosaur's slow moving and very wide turning circle. So what happened was everyone was firing at me and I was taking storm damage, so I couldn't out-heal it and my Titanosaur ended up dead. In the end, the player with the UT perfectly camped the circle, so I couldn't get in and I died to the storm. Game 13, I finally coloured in my Raptor. I had a decent start to the game with 2 fairies, but I got attacked by a tier 1 Karcher. And for those who don't know, it is the rival to the Gigas from earlier. They killed all of my creatures, but I still managed to escape with my life. After a little bit of wandering around, I managed to find a T-Rex, which I tamed. I even managed to take down a player's army of creatures with it. And after chasing them for a little bit, I managed to kill the player. That victory wouldn't last long though, as after I looted my victim's body, I got attacked by an army of Spinos. And I died pretty quickly. Game 14, I land at the mountains, and get quickly found by sabers. I almost fend them off, but almost doesn't cut it. In game 15, I tamed a Spino, which I used to gain over 400 dino points. I used those dino points to summon the Brood Mother, and I felt unstoppable with her, until someone stopped me. But I still managed to get away. I tamed quite a few creatures trying to build myself up, with the last one I tamed being a Daedon, which took me a fair way, but as the circle shrank, more people started to attack me and eventually got killed. But don't worry though, I avenged him. 3 people left and both of the other guys have filers. I decide to stay near the edge of the circle to hope they don't notice me as I'm firing at them. Unfortunately one of them does, but it doesn't matter that much as he keeps going in circles to avoid the other filer, and eventually they kill each other. I use the cover of the storm to hide myself from the other 2 players. They end up fighting amongst themselves and one of them ends up dead, and now it's just a 1v1 and the other guy has better loot. The other guy pulls out a rocket launcher which would one-shot me if it connects, but he misses and he has to pull out his spear, which does a fair bit of damage, but he ends up being succumbed by my fire, and I win the game. Winning in 15 games, I'll take that. Game 16, I'm going for back-to-back wins. I end up with a reasonably good army, they're all higher tier, including a Spino and a Fairy. But unfortunately, the only other guy in the game has a Megapithecus, which is one of Ark's Guardians. And all of my creatures get lured all the way over there because he hit one of my other dinosaurs and I forgot to whistle them back, which ended up in all of their deaths. And me against an army? Yeah, you already know how this is going to end. Game 17, Game 18. Game 19, that one was alright, let's talk about it. I again had a Spino and used it to get 400 dino points, but instead of taming a Brood Mother, I tamed the dragon. I used the dragon to kill a lot of enemy creatures. It was so powerful, but unfortunately I got stuck at the bottom of a cliff, which I managed to get a rock elemental because of, but when I was taming it, they killed my dragon, so I was left with my tier 3 Spino and my rock elemental. They ended up needing to come down to me, but unfortunately wasn't strong enough, and they swallowed my rock hard golem. Hey, that's kinda sus, bro. Game 20 I had the dragon again, but it died in its first fight. I got its killer though. In the end I only had a tier 0 Spino, so I got annihilated by a tier 3 dive. All you need to know about game 21 is that my notes say it sucked. This was the first game I did my favourite strategy. I call it the Filer strat, as you tame a Filer. How this works is, when you get the Filer, you level up to tier 3, and you just stay away from everything. Maybe get more dino points so you can resurrect your Filer if it falls down, but that's really about it. Now the reason this works is because no one's really going to approach you because you're not much of a threat, and if they do, you can easily run away, which is why this is probably one of the best strategies to at least getting into the top 10. It ended up getting me to the final circle, but unfortunately I got killed by teamers. Again. Game 23 I died in the storm. Game 24 there was a lot of people in the final circle battling it out for the victory. Unfortunately I was not the one who won. Game 25 I'd only just managed to get a Rex, but then I got annihilated by another. Game 26 I may have had a pack of aloes, but it didn't really help that much. Game 27 I do something that was pretty stupid. This guy comes in and attacks me and kills all of my tames, but he doesn't really see where I went. And for whatever reason I decided to press the attack, and when I realized I'm not going to win the fight, instead of running away, I tried to steal his downed Megaloceros. So, as you can probably tell, the strategy doesn't work, and he finds me and kills me. Despite having some powerful dinos, in game 28, I got destroyed by a Karcher. I don't want to talk about game 29. Game 30 also went horribly. Game 31 had an intense final fight that was between 3 people, and it also included a Rex. Now, me and another guy focused on the Rex to get rid of the largest threat in the game. And, well, I wasn't the one in the middle, but I spent most of my time in the storm trying to avoid the Rex and trying to avoid both the other players so they would fight each other, and I just did not have enough health to take on the last guy, so I ended up dying. Game 32 I had a Raptor for the entire game, and it ended up becoming tier 3 near the end. And it ended up being the last creature because I used it to camp, so the other 2's bigger creatures died in the storm somewhere. But unfortunately, both me and my Raptor were on very low health in the end, so someone with a flamethrower burnt us both to death. Game 33. Come on, just fight me and kill me, please. Stop toying with me, please give me the sweet release of death. Thank you. Game 35, all you need to know is that this is solos. Game 36. Game 37, I realize how OP nets are, as it makes it so you can't move for 15 seconds. Game 38, I was actually managing to outmaneuver the Rex, until I got stuck on a rock, which led to my death. Game 39 will never be mentioned again. Game 40, I tamed the Titan, so it goes terribly. Alright, just come to the safe circle. Ah, no! Oh, no, it's coming. No, please, no, please leave me alone. No. Game 43. Game 44, I'm going for the Filer strat, and also tamed a Rex and a Carno. But somebody attacked with a reasonably large army. Fortunately for me, they never leveled up any of their creatures, which allowed me and my Rex to completely annihilate their entire army, and we eventually killed the player too. Later on, some guy with 2 tier 3 T-Rexes came and attacked me. They killed both my tier 1 T-Rex and my Amar. But fortunately Filers are pretty quick, so I managed to get away. 1v1, and I used my RPG to do a lot of damage to the Carno, which also lured it over here, allowing me to easily kill it, meaning that the enemy player now only has 1 creature left, a Velonosaur. I used both of my creatures to deal a lot of damage to the Velonosaur, but unfortunately they both went down. Luckily, I still had a rocket which I used to kill the Velonosaur. I pull out my rocket launcher, but unfortunately I miss, allowing the other guy to break my armor. So I decided to pull out the flamethrower and does quite a bit of damage to me before we both fall off of the cliff. Now, by using my blood packs, I was able to continuously heal, and I used the flamethrower to burn him, and I won the game. Skipping straight to the end of this game, and I'm going for that back-to-back again. And I used my T-Rex to wipe out most of the other tamed creatures in the game, but unfortunately in doing so, that makes me lose my T-Rex, and the only creature that's tamed in the game is an enemy filer. Now, both of us somewhat team up on him, because he's the most powerful, as he's got a tier 3 filer, and we managed to take it down. But unfortunately we were not able to destroy the body in time, which resulted in the guy retaming him and easily being able to kill both of us. Game 46, I came third. Same thing on game 47. Died by rocket again on game 48. Let's see how I die on game 49. So Giga pushes me onto the storm and I die out there. At least I didn't die by rockets. Game 50, we all get dominated by this guy with a bunch of tames. Game 51, I grew a beard. The beard didn't really help though. Game 52, I died as a raptor. Game 53, I got eaten by a Rex. Game 54. Game 55, I killed myself. Game 56, I managed to tame the big monkey and the titan. Now, unfortunately, the titan is too slow and the Megapithecus managed to get stuck, which meant they both died to the storm and I died soon after. Game 57, I picked a fight with the wrong Rex. Why did I come here again? Game 59, there was this guy on a mantis who was going for all of the players on the ground, even though there was a catcher roaming around and both of us were trying to kill the catcher, which resulted in all three of us dying and the player with the catcher won. Don't know why I kept calling it a catcher when it's quite clearly a Giga. Dropping into duos game 60, and my teammate's the guy who won the last game, so we might stand a chance this time. Oh no, that's a lot of tier 3s on one team. Might not be able to win this one. Well, I'm dead. Let's see how Delta does. Oh, looks like they're running out of room. They've got to do something fast. Well, we may have lost, but at least we went out in a blaze of glory. Game 61, I died alone. Game 62, we dropped into squads, but it didn't go very well. Game 63, I somehow came in possession with a Giga. I'm pretty sure my teammate got it. And then a Karcher came in and attacked, and we were unable to defeat it. Forgot to record game 64, but all you need to know is that we lost. Let's skip straight to the end of game 65. I was being quite clearly overwhelmed. I only had a tier 2 Dire Bear, and they had some pretty strong stuff. But my Dire Bear did manage to take out their fairy before it was defeated by the Filer. Now, I ran out of rockets, so I decided to pull out my flamethrower, which I used effectively to kill every other creature in the game, allowing me to win this seemingly impossible victory. Game 66, I actually have the footage of me taming a Giga. Now, how I did this was I used a compound bow from the high ground to do a lot of damage, allowing me to knock it out faster in a way that he couldn't get to me, which made it pretty easy, and that meant an easy Giga. But don't fool yourself into thinking about the back-to-back. I got killed by a Karcher. Game 67, I assisted in taking down a Giga, but unfortunately they managed to get it back up and charged me down, so I died. Game 68. I really wanted to win game 69, so I was focusing a lot for this one. At the start of the game, I tamed the Filer and grinded it all the way up to max. I tamed a few creatures near the end of the game, because I had spare dino points, and the only one you really need to care about is a Spino I stole. This is because when somebody attacked me, it ran straight after and I couldn't really see him apart from the parachute. I wouldn't have been able to find him when he was in the water, so the Spino was really helpful and basically did all the work on him for me. Unfortunately, the Filer didn't last forever as it got killed by the Giga. But the rest of us teamed up on the Giga, which meant it was all down to a no dino fight. I threw all of my grenades, but unfortunately they all missed, and somebody managed to hit me with a rocket launcher which knocked out all of my armor. All I had left was a compound bow and a dream. I decided to stay near the storm, so it would make it a little bit harder for them to shoot me, and both me and the other guy ended up going for the guy in the middle as he's the easier one to shoot. Unfortunately, he died closer to me, allowing me to get to his body, loot his gear, meaning I had my armor back. I then pull out my shotgun, which does a lot of damage, and after a few shots, I kill him, and I win the game. There we go, winning game 69, that's all a man can hope for. Game 70 doesn't go nearly as well. Game 70 I managed to tame a dragon, but if I remember correctly I had to go watch a movie or something, so I was extremely aggressive, hoping that I would die, and I did. Game 72. Game 73. Game 74, it's the big dragon versus the big monkey, and they both ended up going down. But in the end, I still died. Game 75. Game 76 was close, but we don't have enough time to talk about it, so just know that we died. Game 77 was in squads, and we did so well that I wasn't even there when we got the final kill, so we got another win. Game 78 didn't go to plan. Game 79. Skipping to the end of game 80, and what I did was I jumped off of my filer, so when I got hit it would charge after whoever hit me, and because I was the only creatures left, I wouldn't have to contest with any larger dinosaurs. So yeah, someone hit me, filer went after them, they chased them into the storm and ended up killing the other player, and the filer came back into the circle to go after the other player, which did a lot of damage to them, but unfortunately the filer got defeated, but it did enough damage to where I could come in with my sword and claim the victory. Game 81, I died to a filer. Let's go straight to the end of game 82, and me and this other guy had a filer, and everybody else had something pretty powerful, so we both decided to stay back and let them fight it out. And in the end, there was only a Karcher left, and our filers, so we both ended up charging in and losing our filers, but we also managed to defeat the Karcher, and it was just down to a foot fight, and I tried to use my flamethrower, did a bit of damage, but somebody kept throwing down poisonous gas, which did a lot of damage. Fortunately, I was not the one on the lowest health, because somebody else died right next to me. I need to pick up their gear, which automatically equips new armor, so I wasn't losing my health anymore, I was just losing armor. And I kept doing this with every bag that I found, which ended up being a big help, as I always had the most health. So in the end, I just had more health than everyone else, so I ended up winning. Game 83. Game 84. Game 85. Wolves again. Oh look, more wolves. Wolves! Ah, more wolves, why do I keep coming back here? Please, mama, save me. Thank you. Run. Run. Run! Game 90 cuts out here. Just know that I lost. Game 91, and I'm up against a Giga and a Rex, and they're both tier 3. And all I have is a filer, which gets killed, and I have to spend most of my time in the storm, so I decided to throw in a bunch of grenades and a bunch of gas grenades, which work, and I take down the Giga and the Rex. But unfortunately, from spending so much time in the storm, I was on so low health, so it wasn't very hard for my opponent to kill me. Looks like we got a similar situation here. Let's see if I can win this time. No. No, I can't. Game 93. Game 94, I ran out of hard drive space, so we'll never know how it ends. Game 95, I tamed the Titan, and it actually helps. It kills all of the other bigger creatures, so yeah, Titan can be useful sometimes. We're in the final circle, and I've just tamed Bronto using my filer, so I have a pretty huge advantage at the moment. My creatures do a pretty good job of killing the other players, especially my filer, who basically caused the death of all of them, and all I needed to do was pull my shotgun out and get the final kill. So, I won. Game 96, I came second. Please sir, don't hurt me. I'm only a little monkey. Game 98, I took a Giga down with me. Game 99, got netted, then stabbed to death. Time for the big game 100. And I've added some final touches to my flag, which you should totally do, by the way. The past 100 games have been extremely enjoyable, and I would do this again if the game was still available, but it's not going to be available until the remake is good and ready for it. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like button, and that'll make me know that you want to see more of this. But anyway, put up a good fight, but ended up getting stuck inside of a T-Rex's body, so I went out with a blast. There you go, all 100 drops. I hope you all enjoyed this video and might want to try this game out for yourself. It's really fun, and you never know, you might find it's the best battle royale game ever. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in Ark Survival Ascended.